Hey guys, welcome to my first Q&A video, and I'm sorry if you can hear my dog snoring in the background. I couldn't really do much about that. But yeah, I'm really excited to film this. I decided to do this a while back because I was close to reaching my goal of 300 subscribers, and I finally reached it a few days ago, and I was so excited and I was like, yes, I finally get to film it. Because I asked you guys about a week ago to send me any anonymous questions that you'd like to send me, so I linked my Tumblr account so you guys could do that. And I've also allowed you guys to send me some right now in the comments, or again in the Tumblr thing if you want it to be anonymous. So I can't wait to go through them because I've read through them and oh my god, they're actually great questions. They're like those type of questions that make you think. You're not just like, oh yep, that's the answer. Okay, so I'm going to skip the first one because that was a bit of an insult and there was no actual questions in there. So the first question is going to be this. It's by Anonymous and it is, what things or places inspire you or your style? Honestly, I think this is really hard for me to answer because I don't think I have a personal style or anything. Like, most of the clothes that I wear or the things that I do to my makeup and hair and stuff, I just do because I like I might get inspired by magazines and stuff like that, but I'm never the type of person that would just see something and be like, oh, I want to copy their entire style. I usually just pick and choose. Like if I'm flicking through a magazine, I might only like two things. Oh my god, there's so much that inspires me. I can barely even like think of it all once. But one main thing that inspires me personally is the people around me. Like obviously my friends and my family and my boyfriend would have like a huge influence on the things that inspire me because they're there to talk to, and I obviously get like impacted by what they do and say and stuff like that, if that makes sense. And another big thing is obviously YouTube, because I spend a big majority of my time watching YouTube videos, so I'm constantly inspired by people's like choices and actions and the things that they wear and the creative things that they do and stuff. And yeah, obviously like I think YouTube's probably my main one. There's just so many people, so I'm constantly like getting inspired to make videos myself like that and to try things like that and all of that type of stuff. And apart from that, probably just simple things like I said before, like magazines or just random people in public, or you know, like people on like the news or like in the media or on social networking, just like heaps of stuff like that. And places that inspire me, I'm not even sure, I can't really pinpoint it right now, but all the places I've travelled overseas would have inspired me in some way or another. They would have probably made me have a better outlook on the world, and I would have like, I see stuff a lot more positively, I think. I wouldn't really know because I don't know how I would have been if I didn't travel so much. And I just think I have a better perspective on life most of the time, and it inspires me to be more creative and to try new things and new experiences and stuff like that. That was a really long answer, I'm sorry about that, it was really complex to explain. Question number 2. Where in the world haven't you been that you want to go? Ooh, this is hard to answer because most places that I have wanted to go, I've luckily been able to go to, which I'm so thankful for, and I love that I've been able to experience that. But places I really want to go that I haven't been yet is probably Japan, which might sound really odd and random, but I've just lately just really wanted to go there. There's just so many things that I find so interesting there that I think will be amazing to explore. Like first of all, I find all the technology there just like, oh my god, like it just, oh, I just love it all so much. I always watch lots of Vsauce videos that mention like this is happening in Japan, and I'm like, oh, I just want to go there and see what it's all like. I just love like new technology and like the robots there and stuff like that, as cliche as that sounds, and it would just be really cool to see that. And I also love that there's like the flip side of it, which is like all the beautiful nature and the mountains and everything, and I love skiing, so it would just be so cool to be able to like experience that as well as the other stuff. And I don't know, I just think it sounds like a really exciting place to go to, so I'd love to go to there. And I also really want to go to Canada one day just because I really like the snow. Question number 3. What is your favourite city in the world? I've been to so many cities that I just love when I was travelling. But one thing which people are going to be surprised with me saying is that I love the city that I live in, which is Melbourne in Australia. I just think it's a really great place, and I wish I've like had more experiences in Melbourne, as weird as that sounds. Like I just don't have much money ever, as I've probably mentioned in heaps of my videos, so I've always wanted to go to like the aquarium and have dinner in the city a lot and just experience all the like really cool unusual things in there. But I just haven't been able to much. But every time I go to the city for like excursions or with my friends and stuff like that, I'm always just walking around like, this is such a great city. Like Everything's just so interesting, and I just, like, if I didn't live in Australia, I would really want to come here pretty much. So I think it's a really great city to live in. But cities that I've loved, that I've traveled to, is Berlin. Hopefully that's a city. Is that a city? I'm so bad at stuff like this. I'm just gonna keep talking about it and hopefully I'm right. I've traveled to Berlin a couple of times now and I've just loved it so much. Like, I just find it so interesting, and I love all the art there and all the history and all the museums and just like everything about it. It's just such a nice place. I really like it. Another city that I loved and I was really surprised by was Washington. I went there about a year ago or 2 years ago, and I didn't have high expectations of it. I thought, oh yeah, this place is probably going to be nice, but I ended up loving it so much. I just thought it was just really pretty, like all the trees and the snow, and it was just really nice. And I love the museums there. Like, I absolutely love museums. So it was just so cool that like all the most famous ones in the world were there, and I just found it so interesting. So I loved that. And on that trip, I also traveled to New York. So obviously I would love that too, because New York is just amazing. Like, I think everyone loves it. When you're there, you just like look across at, you know, Times Square and stuff like that, and you don't believe that it's real. You're kind of like, nah, that's a photo, that's not real. And then you come back and you look at your own photos and you're like, what? As if, no, I didn't take that. I wish I vlogged, then it would have been so awesome for you guys to see it. If you guys haven't already, obviously. Question 4 is from my friend Bella. So hi Bella, thank you for the question. And the question is, what are the best brand of makeup brushes you have ever used? This is actually quite easy to answer because I have only used 2 brands of makeup brushes in the past, and the first ones were Eco Tools, which I got when I first started wearing makeup, and I think the makeup brushes have improved since I first bought them, because honestly they were quite poor quality when I bought them. Like, they would just apply quite badly, as harsh as that sounds. But now when I see the, I'm presuming, updated ones in Safeway and stuff like that, which is a shopping centre in Australia, I look at them and I'm like, they look like really good brushes. What happened? So I'm presuming that they updated like the bristles or something like that. But the new ones that I have now, which I use in most of my videos and I absolutely love them, is by the brand Kit, and my parents bought them for me for Christmas this year, last year. Well, what is it? Last year. I don't know why I got so confused with that. And they got them from Mecca Cosmetica, and that is just amazing because I've never owned anything from there. So I was like, oh my god, that is so cool. So I absolutely love them. Like, they're great quality and they work so well. I also love how they're metal and they have like this pink metallic look to them. I think they're really cute. Question number 5. Why the name Sheribubble? Well, honestly, I don't know why it's the name Sheribubble. I can't even remember how it began, as weird as that sounds. Like, no one ever called me that. I know people used to call me Sherryberry as a nickname, but no one ever called me Sheribubble. So I'm thinking maybe someone did by accident or as a joke or something, and then for some reason it sticked in my brain, because like no one used to call me that, and I never thought of myself as that or anything. But I remember when I was making the YouTube channel, I just sat there and typed it in. Like, I wasn't sitting there brainstorming names or anything. I just typed it in. So I don't know what was going through my head. I wish I could know. So I really don't know why the name is Sheribubble. Question number 6. If you could eat one food for the rest of your life, all other factors aside, health benefits, weight gain, cost, etc., what would it be and why? I was thinking about this question for so long when I first read it. Like, it's weird to put all those factors aside because you're so used to thinking of them. But I came to the conclusion, I think I would like to eat sushi and a California roll, definitely, because they're my favorites. I don't really like some of the others like at all, which is weird, because I considered Nando's for a bit, but then I realized when I have it quite regularly, I don't get excited by it as much anymore. But when I have sushi regularly, I always get excited, so I'm like, yeah, that's probably better. But another meal that I love, and this isn't even a meal really, it's just a thing that I've eaten for like, I don't even know, years, is cream cheese, like a tub of it or like a bar of it, and corn chips. I've just always done that. Like, I do that probably every day. I just sit there like eating it, and I used to get to the point where I'd eat an entire cream cheese like called box, I don't know what to call it, and like a whole corn chips thing in just like one sitting, which is just ridiculous. And then I was talking to my naturopath and he's like, yeah, that's not good for you, don't do that. So then I like spread it out over the week, so it's not as bad now. but I could also probably live on that because I don't get sick of that either. So I'm weighing up those two and I'm really not sure. If I could choose both, then that would be my answer. I live in Perth, WA. I am having trouble at school with bullies and need advice on how to get through it. I am in year 9. I seriously just want to jump through the screen and give you a big hug right now. Like, I just feel so bad for you. No one deserves to be bullied. It's just so bad and it still happens, and that's what bothers me. Like, I don't understand what's going through a bully's head when they do it. I can't comprehend that. Like, even if I say something slightly like rude to someone, I straight away like apologize or I just feel really guilty later. So I don't know, I don't get it. Personally, I have been bullied in the past, not a crazy amount, not for ongoing years or anything like that. But in primary school, I got bullied by a couple of girls. I was in a group of girls and a few of them are still my friends now, which is good, obviously not the ones that bullied me. But we just had a couple of friends that used to just boss us around and make us feel bad, and they also like used to make us hate each other or bully each other and just horrible stuff like that. And I can't remember it that clearly because I was quite young, year 3 to about year 6, but it started getting better at the end. But since I've been in high school, it hasn't happened too much. It has been a lot better. I haven't been like fully picked on too much or anything, but I have had just, you know, like the odd times where people make like rumors up about you or they set statuses about you, or just like there's weird Facebook fights where everyone's like just ganging up on you and stuff like that. But apart from that, it's been a lot better. And I think that's probably because I have slowly gained the confidence to be able to actually stand up for myself. I've learned now that if someone treats me that way, I know for sure that I do not deserve that. Like, no way. Like, why should someone treat me like that if I would not treat them the same way or anyone that way? But now I tend to stand up for myself quite a lot. And one thing that I found that really works is not to fight back a huge amount. And when I mean fight back, I mean defend yourself, but don't obviously throw anything back to them, because then you're just as bad. Like, I know they started it and they're probably a ruder person or they've done worse things in the past, but if you fight back, you're doing just as bad as them. So don't get on their level. I just think it's so bad when someone is being picked on or bullied and then they fight back and say like similar things. I just think it's so bad. It's like such a bad way to handle the situation. So one thing I really suggest is making the bully question their own actions. I can't like think of an actual phrase or anything right now, but just think of something that would make the bully think to themselves, oh, why am I doing this? Is it because of this? Like, I wonder how it's making the person feel. Or even if they don't think that in the moment, maybe, you know, in weeks or months or years from now, they'll like just think about what you said to them and just think to themselves like, oh wow, I shouldn't have said something like that. Like, that was horrible. And another thing that is really important and you should probably do first when this all begins is to find someone to talk to. I know that's like a really obvious thing that everyone tells you and like they drill it into your heads, but that's because it is so important. Think about who you trust. Like, think of the first people that pop into your head, whether that's your parents or teachers or close friends or anyone, and just talk to them about it. Be honest. Don't like, you know, half explain it or anything. Just be like completely honest and talk about how you feel to do with the situation, and I'm sure they'll be able to help you. If you tell someone what is going on, they will most of the time be able to help you a huge amount, probably more than you expect. Like, they might have some past experience themselves, or they might have some new ideas on how to handle the situation, and it's just really helpful to be able to tell someone so they can see it from a different perspective, because when all this is going on, you usually feel quite trapped and you don't feel like you should defend yourself because you're in fear of judgment, and there's just all of this stuff going on. So it's a lot better to just, you know, throw it to someone else so they can sort it out and then throw it back to you, and then you can think about it a lot more clearly. Because I found that happens a lot to me. Like, if I've been picked on, I'll be stressing about it and it's a lot bigger in my head. Like, I'll just like, everything will just go, and then if I tell someone else, they'll be able to kind of sort it out and then like tell me what to do. Not in like a bossy way, but they'll just like advise me what they suggest I should do. One thing I always question though, and I think everybody does, is why they do it. And it's really hard to not take it personally. Like, every time someone picks on me, as bad as this sounds, I straight away take it personally. I think, oh my god, what did I do? How do I change this? Like, what's wrong with me and all of that. So one thing you have to remember, and if you're experiencing this, please listen to me right now. You have to remember that you do not deserve this in any way. This isn't happening because you did anything wrong at all. If it happens to this many people in the world, this many innocent, lovely people, then obviously it isn't happening to you because you did something wrong, because they're all not doing anything wrong. So as cliche as it sounds, most of the time the bully is the ones with the insecurities themselves, and they just want to be at your level or above you. So if they feel threatened by you being above them up here, then they'll just do anything to knock you back down so that they can be above you again. They just want to have confidence and feel like they have power over you, which I find really odd because I'm not like that at all. So please promise me that you'll tell someone that you trust about what is going on so that they can help you and defend yourself, because you deserve it. But again, be nice about it and just defend yourself. Don't throw stuff back at them, because that's just as bad. And yeah, I really hope it gets better, and I'm sure it will, and I hope this helped at least one person, because that will make me really happy. And I know I'm not saying anything mind-boggling and that it's quite cliche, but sometimes you just forget these things and it's good to be reminded. So yeah. There were 4 other questions that I was meant to answer in this video, but this video just became way too long, so I'm going to be answering them in my next Q&A video, so watch out for that when I upload it. And this was seriously so much fun to film. Like, I want to do this all the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm always going to have my Tumblr Ask box open so that people can send me questions whenever they want, and obviously they can inbox me too or comment them on any of my posts. And when it gets to a certain number, maybe 10 questions, I'll make a Q&A video so that I can answer them for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I also want to thank you guys for helping me reach 300 subscribers. I love you guys so much for that. I was so surprised when I reached it, to be honest, because I only reached 200 in April and it was June and I already reached 300. I was like, oh my god, what? So that is so awesome. So thank you for subscribing, and I love all your comments and likes and everything like that. It makes me really happy and encourages me even more to make more videos for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Also, comment any questions below you'd like me to do in a Q&A, because once I reach 10 I definitely want to make it, because this is just so much fun. Bye guys! That's the Q&A question thing. What's it called? And I got them when I first begun making makeup. What?